accommodate. It is my honor to introduce our next senator from District 38A, Salt Lake City Councilwoman Michele, Gregory.
Well, I just want to clear something up. I'm running for State Senate District 38, which includes 2 other whole sections. But listen, I really appreciate the chance to come out here and talk to you all today. I don't think I have to explain to you that the Eastern Shore has been underrepresented for years. And we really only have one representative right now on the Eastern Shore who really truly does the work for the people, and that is Cherie Sample Hughes. She is the Speaker Pro Tem, and she is a tireless advocate for the folks of the Eastern Shore. Unfortunately, she is very, very, very much alone right now. And as we're seeing the rise of far-right nationalist candidates in the area running for office, running for state legislature, and winning, they won their primaries, and now they're going to try and go to the state legislature. It is more important than ever that we get engaged and we start paying attention to who we're sending to Annapolis. Because when they are running on a platform of anti-government, they are running against your best interests. Pay attention to the people who are talking about working against Annapolis or working against government or dismantling it or undoing it. Because those are the people who only see benefit for themselves in that. Now that out of the way, there are a lot of things we can do here on the Eastern Shore that haven't been done before. I'm proud to be part of the Salisbury City Council and been a part of solutions that haven't been done here before. Things like the Here's Home project that was introduced by Mayor Dick Day and was an innovative way of tackling the housing crisis. Now the housing crisis has been hitting us much harder than a lot of other regions. We are the 13th now fastest growing region in the nation. People have flocked here, especially spurred on by the pandemic, because of what they perceive as a lower cost of living and being able to telecommute for their work, be able to do their work virtually. And that's great. But then they come down here and realize we don't have housing here. We don't have affordable housing here. I just yesterday was speaking with a gentleman who is right now unhoused. He does not have any housing. He came here for work, and then the work dropped him like a hot potato and moved on to another state. And he's stranded here with no resources, nowhere to stay, nothing. It's him and his dog. I'm working very hard to make sure that we get him into some sort of housing before the cold weather hits. The city is working really hard to get the tiny home village that we committed to building and is in the process of being set up right now. We're getting the electrical put in, trenches are dug, wiring is run. We just need a few more parts and they'll be done. But that doesn't help that gentleman right now. And we're seeing that at a large scale across the Lower Shore. We need resources here now. And while we were able to take federal funding to put into that, we need more than that. We need the state's help. We need to be able to count on our partners in the state legislature to connect us with resources. But unfortunately, what we have right now are not partners. We have people who are there simply to enrich themselves, to support their own back pockets. And that is not what we need here on the Lower Shore, especially in District 38, which is the poorest district in the state, even if you take into account that Ocean City is a part of it. Somerset is the poorest county in the state, in the wealthiest state per capita in the nation. There is no excuse for us to not have housing, clean water, or resources for the people who live here. Seniors, disabled, anybody who lives on the lower shore should be able to live comfortably. And I don't mean that they need to be living in excess, I mean comfortably. Basic necessities, clean water, food, housing. Another part of that is health care. I know all too well how hard it is to find health care down here. My son is disabled. To be able to see a dentist, we have to go across the bridge. We're fortunate enough to have the resources for that. But most who are disabled are not. We have an opportunity here that we can't do something when nobody's even tried. How do you even know? How do you even know? I've proudly worked with partners around the state to get sensible legislation passed for medical debt. I worked to try and get the Clean and Healthy Air Act passed, which would have funded an air quality study down here, so we could figure out why 1 in 4 kids down here have asthma, compared to the national rate of 1 in 25. There is no reason these sensible measures should not pass and should not be taken care of. I'm ready to go to work. I know Todd is ready to go to work. And I'm so glad that I spoke first because I hate following him. He is a terrible act to have to follow. So thank you, Jared, for putting me in first.
I figured that'd be nice for once.
For once, thanks. He usually puts me after Todd. Please don't do that. You know, I'm not an engaging speaker, and I know that. But what I am is a hard worker. And what I am is someone who is passionate about making sure that the people on the Eastern Shore are taken care of and that they have a voice in Annapolis. We need to give Cherie Sample Hughes help. We need to do better. We deserve better. So I hope everybody shows up for early voting. If you need to, talk to Jared or myself or Todd and figure out where you can volunteer. We have a lot of needs and we're ready to get to work. But we need your help. So please, please, please volunteer. We could use the help. Let's get people to the polls. Let's get this election behind us so we can start getting good work done.